Welcome back to Misty and Ike.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about...
James Dean.
Because...
It's his birthday.
Happy birthday, James.
Happy birthday.
Let's get into it.
Okay. I'm Misty.
And I'm Ike.
The next 15 minutes,
We're going to debate pop culture.
my background's in music.
My background's in film.
I know the topics beforehand.
And I don't.
We check the internet for the facts.
And ruin it with opinions.
From pop rocks in your lunchbox.
To Happy Meal toys and swatch clocks. Happy birthday, James.
Happy birthday, James Dean.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick.
James Dean was born in 1931.
Wow, he's old.
Well, he's not, because he didn't make it.
What?
James Dean died.
You're going to tell me that on the show?
I'm so sorry.
Can I get a spoiler alert or something?
Spoiler alert. James Dean died.
I knew that.
I kind of assumed that you did, but I mean, you never know. I didn't know Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds meant LSD last week.
Did you know that, Nick?
Yeah, I definitely knew that.
I'm just the only dummy. It's fine.
No, I mean, we learn new things every day on this show.
It's true. It's true.
I know very little about James Dean, though.
I'm ready to be educated.
Then you're going to learn some stuff today.
I got a list that says 10 things you may not know about James Dean.
Well, this is one thing to know. He was born in 1931 and he died in 1955. He was only 24 years old.
Oh, so he's not even in the 27 club.
He's not. Nope. He died in a car crash. He was kind of a race enthusiast, a car racing enthusiast.
I'm glad you said car.
A racing enthusiast?
Right. No.
Oh.
Yeah, if he was like a race enthusiast, it would be a different story.
Okay. He was
That took me a second.
Me too. I was like, what? No, he liked car racing a lot, and it was one of his hobbies.
Motorsports is the thing.
Motorsports.
Yeah.
Yes. He when he passed away in a Porsche Spider 550.
Ooh, good choice.
Which he had only owned for about a week.
Man, that's why you let somebody else drive your new car for the first week.
There was somebody with him. His car mechanic was with him when he got into the accident. That guy only had a broken leg.
Wow.
Lived through it.
He was on the accident side.
I think the guy's name was Wolf or something like that.
Wolf. If I ever have a car mechanic, buddy,
Mr. Wolf.
I want his name to be Wolf.
Right?
Me and Wolf are taking the Porsche out for a spin. If I ever say me and Wolf are taking the Porsche out for a spin,
then I need to worry about you.
Go, hey,
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, don't do
Can
that.
we call Dan Milligan Wolf now?
Yes. Yes.
Is he a mechanic?
No, he's a motorcycle mechanic.
I feel like he could, though. He could probably fix a car if he wanted to.
Okay.
Maybe a Porsche.
I'm going to tell you something super weird.
Okay.
So, Alec Guinness. Do you know who Alec Guinness is?
Did he invent the beverage?
He did not.
Okay.
He did, however. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No way.
So, Alec Guinness was super good friends with James Dean. And they met up for a dinner right as James Dean was buying this car. And Alex Guinness said to him, I'm having this weird feeling that if you buy this car, you're going to be dead in the next week in it.
Wow.
And he died within the week.
You know what? That's why you don't make death jokes with your friends.
Right? Well, I don't think he was
Nicholas?
joking. I think he was being for real. He was like, I had this premonition. I feel like if you don't buy this car, like this is going to be really bad.
Like the Force spoke to him.
The Force spoke through Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That was 20 some odd years before he was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
The Force was strong with him even then.
The Force was strong in him. Definitely.
Did you know that James was largely raised by his aunt and uncle?
I did.
All right.
His mom died when he was little. And his dad couldn't handle it. So he sent him to live with his aunt and uncle.
And he was from Indiana.
I did not know that.
Actually, I knew that. He's from like a small town that Zach Randolph, the basketball player, is also from.
Maybe that's why he liked auto racing so much, because of the Indiana ties.
Well,
maybe
like Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly.
He was born in Indiana, but soon moved to Santa Monica, California.
Right.
Because his dad was a dental technician and was transferred to a hospital there.
A dental technician. It's very weird to me that a dental technician would be moved across the country. Like,
Right.
he must be like a super good dental technician.
Like he wanted to move to Santa Monica. That's
Well, at age of 9, his mother died of cancer, and he was sent back to Indiana.
Right. And that's when his aunt and uncle took over. I did know that part of it.
Yep.
Do you know that he was only in 3 movies before he passed?
Did not know that.
He was in 3 movies. He was in East of Eden, and then Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant. And East of Eden is the only movie that came out before he died. The other 2 came out after he passed. And he was the first actor to be posthumously nominated for an Academy Award. And they nominated him 2 years in a row after he passed.
Wow. So he wasn't alive and famous for very long.
No. He East of Eden was the first thing that he was in and got famous. And he got nominated in 1955 after he died as Best Actor for East of Eden. And then the movie Giant, he got nominated in 1956 for Best Actor.
Well, those are his movies, but did you know his first professional gig was a soft drink commercial?
I could see that back then in the day. I mean, it was pre-Cola Wars, but...
Wait, what years are we talking about here?
This was 1950. Dean performed in several high school plays and continued acting in college, especially after transferring to Santa Monica College from Santa Monica College to UCLA in the fall of 1950. Shortly after winning a role in a UCLA production of Macbeth, a well-connected fraternity brother brought him along to serve as an extra in a Pepsi Cola commercial.
That's cool.
So when were the movies coming out? What years?
Like 1954 was when East of Eden came out.
Right. Okay.
Giant and Rebel Without a Cause came out in 1955.
All right. So everything was mid-50s, and then he died when?
1955.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He died. Only one of his movies was out before he died. The other 2 were released
crazy.
after he died.
I did not realize he had such a short career and
Super
was
short.
so young.
Yeah, that's what makes it so tragic. Like why everyone is so invested.
His
in
first
James
movie
Dean.
that doesn't count as a movie was a made-for-TV special.
Yeah.
He played John the Apostle in Hill Number 1. That was an Easter special, so it was like a made-for-TV film.
Right. Back. Okay, interesting.
He only had a few lines, but apparently enough for some girls at Los Angeles Parochial High School to form his whatever. Pierogies. It's the Jewish version of dumplings.
It's not Jewish at all.
Pierogies?
Parochial.
Pierogies, though. Pierogies.
Are you just changing the word to make it?
No, I know the word I'm reading. I'm making a different joke about a fun food fact. Yes, and he is doing that. Yes, and yes, and 1951. Okay, whatever.
I like that. I'm gonna forever say pierogies.
Man, I think we're on the same list.
I'm not on a list anymore, but I did do a bunch of reading about him before we did this.
So in addition to Obi-Wan Kenobi being like, you should not drive this car, the cops said it too. 2 hours before he died, he got a speeding ticket. That. Yeah, that's weird, right?
Right. Do you want to know some weird stuff about the car?
Yeah.
Do we know what road he was on and everything?
Yeah, it was Mulholland, right? There's a spot on Mulholland. It's where the 2 highways meet. I can't remember which.
Were you talking about
like way
right
up
down the street here?
No. It was at Highway 46 and Highway 41. It's about 80 miles from Bakersfield.
Oh, he was out in the desert.
I always thought that it was here in LA.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in the desert.
I just assumed it was somewhere around here.
Interesting. Me too. Well, let me tell you some weird shit about this car, you guys.
Okay.
So people ever since then have thought that the car was cursed. So after he died in it, someone bought it, and like a car customizer bought it. And when they were delivering it to him, it rolled off the trailer and crushed the legs of one of his employees.
Wow.
So a couple years later, a thief was trying to break in and steal the steering wheel, and he slipped on his way of breaking in and got a broken arm.
Whoa.
Different parts of the car have been sold off since then, and a large number of crashes of cars that they put those parts into have happened.
Ugh.
This is weird. So a few years after that, they put the car, like the body of the car, on display. Somehow it just caught fire one night. Like, you know that they don't put, like, they empty those things out of gas and all the fluids and stuff when they put them on display.
Yeah.
Somehow the car caught fire.
Like at a museum or something?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So then, get this. The car completely disappeared.
Nobody knows where it is.
Nobody knows where it is. So a couple of years after that, like a car collector put up a reward, $1 million for proof that the car still existed. Not a single person came forward and said, I have the car.
The devil drove it down to hell.
Isn't that just crazy?
That's nuts.
Like that's a whole, like, there's certain things you can chalk up to coincidence, but when that many things happen tied to like one specific car, I don't know. I don't think that that's coincidence anymore.
Nope.
At that point.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Tell me.
This will blow your mind at first, but it'll make sense in a second. He briefly dated a Seinfeld actress.
Which one?
How is that? It had to be one of the old people, the parents.
Right.
Right.
In the years since his death, many men and women alike have professed to being in romantic relationships with Dean. One such claim came courtesy of Liz Sheridan.
Well, who's that? Because she's not one of the Stillers.
I was going to make an Ed Sheeran joke, but that didn't fit right in there. Best known for playing Jerry Seinfeld's mother on the TV show Seinfeld.
Shut up.
She wrote a memoir in 2000 entitled Dizzy and Jimmy, My Life with James Dean, A Love Story. According to the book, Sheridan and Dean met in New York in 1951, soon moved in together, and were at one point engaged to be married.
Oh, Mama Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
I love
That's
that.
random. That's really random.
I always thought Seinfeld's mom and dad were his real mom and dad.
No, that's no.
No, that's Ben Stiller who uses
Ben
his
Stiller's
parents like that.
dad
Oh.
and mom were George Costanza's parents on the show,
Yeah,
right?
But
and they were married.
And Ben
in real
Stiller
life.
has used his dad as his real dad.
Absolutely.
like,
Right.
in movies.
Yeah.
And then
Heartbreak Kid.
Ben
his dad's
Stiller's
the
dad
best.
was the dad on Big Guy. Was a
King
FedEx
of
dude.
Queens.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
He was funny.
Dude, we
Yeah.
got to be charades partners.
We should.
I'm like,
We'd
Big
be-
Guy.
King of Queens.
Nailed it.
Kevin
James.
That's it.
The two of us make one really smart trivia
We
person.
do. We really do.
We got any more weird facts? I
Crazy.
ran out on my list.
Well, I mean,
Oh, I got one.
okay.
He set a local pole vault record.
Okay, that's weird.
Like in high school.
So he
or
was an
something?
athlete in high school?
He was nearsighted, short and skinny. Dean was a standout athlete at his Indiana high school, playing basketball and baseball and running track. Okay, that was a good competitor. His basketball coach once told a reporter he was what you would call a clean cut. Call it clean cut. Okay, there's more to that. There's there's an apostrophe. There's a comma, excuse me. A clean-cut, all-American type boy. Can we get a reader in here? Just anybody that can read, please? He broke the county record for pole vaulting by the time he graduated in 1949.
Well, while you were reading that, I looked it up because I was super intrigued by this whole whether because he came from Indiana, he was into motorsports.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's true. So he started competing professionally right before filming Rebel with a Cause and actually placing in a couple of races. But when he went to go film Giant, there was a clause in his contract that said while you're filming, you can't compete, you can't race cars.
Wow.
And so he stopped, but his ambition was one day to compete in the Indianapolis 500.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder if our executive producer, Jeremy Robinson, is the reincarnation of James Dean.
I think Brad Pitt is the reincarnation of James Dean. Like, they look so similar and have so many weird, like...
But he's not from Indiana, is he?
No, he's from Missouri.
Ooh, close enough.
Exactly.
Pretty close.
Maybe his
Yeah.
ashes washed down the Mississippi River and into something that someone ate.
Maybe.
It became...
The Pitt family. Yeah.
Nick's learning all about agreeing. But he's doing it funny.
One of the things that I thought was super interesting that I was reading about that I didn't know, Marlon Brando was a huge influence on James Dean. James Dean wanted to emulate Marlon Brando, and Marlon Brando did not like that at all.
Really? Were they contemporaries? What was the age difference?
Yeah, they were contemporaries. Marlon Brando was quoted as saying something, and I'm like, this, like, reading it broke me. I can't imagine being James Dean. So James Dean bought a motorcycle like Marlon Brando's, a Triumph, and Marlon Brando was quoted saying, "He just looks like Marlon Brando in last year's fashion and my acting from last year." That's rough.
Whoa.
But then there were later rumors.
That's really not that bad of an insult. Like, most people would take Marlon Brando's worst year of acting.
True, but you know what he meant
point.
by it.
I understand that.
Totally.
Yeah, I understand
When was-
this,
But
but
it
When
gets
was Dean
even
born?
more jacked up. He was born in like 1931-ish.
Brando was 1924.
They were the same age. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, wait, what?
1924 was Brando.
Oh, so 10 years older.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 11 years older.
Yeah. I could see that. You'd always want to emulate your older buddy.
Rumor has it, because Marlon Brando has since, before he died, talked about his bisexuality, that they actually had a thing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Legit.
They had a thing.
Yeah. Because, well, it was very common, like, rumor also that James Dean was gay as well.
So.
Or at least bi.
He did that thing where I'm not gay in the public, and then behind the.
Brando or Dean?
I think most of them
Both-
did that in
you
the
did-
50s.
they had
No,
a-
Brando talked about it on the regular.
Brando talked about being bi.
Yeah.
In the 50s?
I don't know when. I want to say it was later in his life.
I feel like that must have happened after
I want to
disco
say,
was a
well,
thing or
I
something.
kind of want to
don't
say
know.
it happened after Rock Hudson finally came out. Or, like, was outed.
I'm going to call that a case of syndrome.
What's that mean?
That's when you've run through all the women on the planet to the
Right.
point where you want to just start dominating men.
You know, I look at it this way. I'm sorry. Somebody comes to you that looks like James Dean. You're going to turn it down? No. Like,
Fair point.
he was a fox.
Yep. Am I going to get canceled for calling it syndrome
I don't think so.
No, but maybe the dominating
in like
comment.
10 years?
I mean, maybe the dominating part of it. Yeah.
How do you guys? Sorry, that's a dumb question.
All right, so this ended,
okay.
this ended 2 minutes ago.
Yes, and
Yes, and
yes,
and this episode is over. Mark it. Episode 141.
141.
Ike gets
man.
canceled at the end. Maybe that's the only way we get people to watch the whole thing.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Well,
Woo!
as long as it's not Friday.
Go out there and dominate.
All right. See you tomorrow, everybody.